Welcome to CLEF Notes, brief answers to theological questions. Our question for this morning: how many types of confession are there? The reformer Martin Luther noted that there were three basic types of confession. The one type of confession was our confession before God, our confession that we have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. We read about that in Romans chapter 3. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And our confession that this is so, that we are in fact sinners, is a huge concession on our part, isn't it? But it's something that must take place for us to stand before God and to receive the forgiveness of sins. So just generally, the awareness that we are all sinners and we fall short of the glory of God. That's the first type of confession. Second type of confession is the confession we make to our neighbor, and not just a neighbor that we've offended, but all of our neighbors. We've fallen short before them as well. We haven't served them as we should in love. Not just a specific neighbor, but our spouse and our children and the people we work with and we work for. Maybe if you're a pastor, the congregation which you serve. A confession before our neighbor. Here, Luther notes James 5:16. Confess your sins to one another. We all confess to each other that we are sinners and are in need of forgiveness, of their forgiveness. And we then grant them ours as well. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And finally, Luther notes that if needed, private confession is also available. That is where we confess before a pastor, before a fellow Christian, some sin that we've committed that doesn't have anything to do with them necessarily, but we do need to hear the gospel preached to us, shared with us, proclaimed to us, given to us. And private confession allows us to do that. So there you have it, the three types of confession: the confession before God, a confession before a neighbor, and private confession. If you need to know more about these ideas, they can be found in this book, How is Christ There?, published by Lutheran Press. I'll put a link to it below, and you can take a look at that. You can, at that website, you can even get a free copy of the book. You can download it for free and read about this topic right away in the last 3 chapters of that volume. I hope that helps, and I hope to be able to see you next time on CLEF Notes.